Have you ever considered an alternative to the social media platforms you use every day? One where your data is secure, that isn't constantly trying to sell you something, and where you have complete control over your feed. Now, what if this platform was a homegrown tech initiative? Today, we're putting one of the most ambitious projects on Turkey's tech scene under the microscope. Next Teknofest Social. Before we dive into what it's all about, let's first watch the official introduction video together.
Dünya küçülüyor, sıradanlaşıyor. Her yerde aynı içerikler, aynı sesler, aynı algoritmalar. Next Teknofest Sosyal. Bot yok, reklam yok, sansür yok. Algoritmaların düzeni yok. Bilim var, teknoloji var, senin sesin var. Next Teknofest Sosyal. Farkın olsun.
This isn't just another app review, it's an analytical exploration into how a social media platform is born as a national tech initiative, the vision that drives it, and its potential to offer a digital space that is truly our own. If you're ready, let's begin. To understand Next Social, we first need to understand the philosophy and the founders behind it. The platform was developed in a collaboration between the Turkey Technology Team Foundation, T3 Foundation, and Baykar, with the aim of carrying the spirit of Teknofest into the digital world. Launched with the slogan, "We made it." This project stands out as one of the most tangible products of Turkey's National Technology Initiative vision. So, what are the core principles that set Next Social apart? We can summarize them under three main headings. First, data sovereignty. One of the platform's most fundamental promises is that all user data is stored within Turkey's borders. This is a domestic response to the growing concerns over the data policies of global tech giants. The goal is to provide digital security and establish a domain of data sovereignty. Second, an ad-free and free-to-use structure. This is perhaps one of its most radical steps. Next Social operates on a completely free and ad-free model. This means the platform asserts that it is not turning user attention into a product, but rather offering a service. The relationship between the user and the platform thus shifted from a commercial equation to a community dynamic. And third, an algorithm-free feed. On other platforms, complex and non-transparent algorithms decide what your main feed shows you. Next Social, at least in its initial claim, promises to operate with an algorithm-free system, sorting posts chronologically and thereby giving control entirely back to the user. This is a stance against what the platform itself calls algorithmic censorship. When these three principles come together, we see that Next Social is designed not just as an alternative, but as an alternative architecture to the current Silicon Valley model. This is the most significant element that constitutes the platform's identity. So, did this ambitious vision resonate with users? Looking at the numbers, the initial answer is quite positive. Shortly after its launch, Next Social rose to the #1 spot in the social networking category on the Apple App Store, surpassing global giants like Telegram and Facebook in the process. It also climbed rapidly to the top ranks on the Google Play Store. The user count confirms this success. The platform reached over 70,000 users in its first week, and it was announced that the short-term goal is to reach 1 million users. However, its popularity isn't limited to individual users. Another notable development with the platform's launch was the swift adoption by government institutions and political figures. The fact that many official bodies, such as governorships, ministries, RTGK, and TIKA opened accounts on the platform lent Next Social significant legitimacy and weight. We can read this situation as a two-pronged growth strategy. On one hand, there is organic, or bottom-up, user interest, fueled by an interest in domestic technology and media attention. On the other hand, there is a top-down wave of legitimacy provided by institutional participation. The combination of these two forces has allowed the platform to have a very strong start. One of the features that makes Next Social truly distinct is undoubtedly its integrated artificial intelligence, T3 AI. T3 AI, one of Turkey's first large language models, also developed by the T3 Foundation and Baykar. Users can interact directly with this AI by tagging the T3 AI account in their posts, asking questions, and receiving instant answers. But the key concept here is ethical AI. This term signifies that T3 AI is not just a technical tool, but is also designed to operate within a specific ethical framework. The developers position T3 AI as a safe, community-oriented, and ethically respectful assistant. This stands out as an effort to create an alternative, especially to the controversial and sometimes offensive responses generated by models like X's AI, Grok. T3 AI is capable of understanding not just Turkish, but multilingual content as well. The development process is being carried out with an open-source philosophy, with contributions from 1,790 volunteers from 67 different provinces. This shows that the project has adopted a community-based development model. The term ethical AI is, in fact, a form of value-based technology branding. This is a strategy to build competition not merely on processing power or speed, but on reliability and cultural alignment, by centering the question who has the most trustworthy model, instead of who has the most powerful model. It claims to offer a local solution to global concerns about artificial intelligence. So, what can you expect when you download the app? The interface is quite similar to X, formerly Twitter. With a microblogging focus structure, you can share text, images, videos, and polls, and create your own personal feed by following other users. The Discover tab helps you find new content and profiles based on your interests. The platform's main goal is to create a dynamic community where real people interact. Now, let's turn to another topic: its approach to moderation. In its marketing materials, NEXT Social frequently emphasizes that it is a censorship-free platform. For many users, this is a very attractive promise, serving as a reaction to what are seen as the arbitrary content removal policies of existing social media giants. For instance, complaints about the restriction of posts on certain sensitive topics on other platforms are well known. However, the platform also commits to providing a safe environment and complying with the law. So how do these two concepts work together? Analysis suggests that when Next Social says censorship-free, it is referring to being free from the non-transparent, commercially driven moderation policies of foreign companies. In other words, the platform promises freedom from corporate censorship, but this does not mean that all types of content will be permitted. On the contrary, the content management model appears to be transparently aligned with the laws of the Republic of Turkey. Therefore, this approach offers users a choice to opt for a more predictable framework defined by national law, instead of the opaque and arbitrary rules of Silicon Valley-based platforms. Next Social is just the beginning. So, what are the future plans? It appears the goal is not just to be a social media app, but to create a holistic digital ecosystem. This vision seems to have three main pillars. First, a more advanced T3 AI. The T3 AI hackathons organized by the T3 Foundation and the ongoing volunteer programs clearly indicate the goal of continuously improving the AI's capabilities. We can expect T3 AI to evolve into a much more proactive and capable assistant in the future. Second, event integration. The platform's organic link with Technofest holds great potential for the future. NEXT Social could become the official digital hub for major organizations like Technofest, merging the physical and digital worlds with live broadcasts, exclusive content, and interactive experiences. And third, a content creator ecosystem. Although details have not yet been announced, the goal of building a strong community will inevitably require the development of mechanisms to support content creators. In fact, when these three goals are combined, it can be said that Next Social's long-term strategy is to create a national technology funnel. The platform attracts young people interested in technology, engages them with T3 AI, allowing them to contribute to its development, and has the potential to discover the most talented among them through hackathons, incorporating them into the T3 and Baykar ecosystem. The social platform forms the widest mouth of this large funnel. To sum up, NEXT Technofest Social is a very bold venture, built on the axes of technology, ethics, and domestic production. On one hand, there is the promise of data privacy, an ad-free world, and a feed where the user is in control. The platform's ultimate slogan perhaps summarizes it all. It promises freedom through the union of technology and ethics. So, can this promise become a reality? Time and the steps the platform takes will tell. But the real question is this, and I want to ask it to you. Do you think this platform can offer a digital space that is truly our own? Be sure to share your own analysis and thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. See you in the next video. Goodbye.